So, we talked about filters, Dan, and why, you couldn't get more obvious as to why you'd want to change your filters.
Correct.
And people say, O is O. I mean, you keep putting O in there, it's going to be all right as long as you got O in the crankcase.
Right.
Oh, not so fast.
Not so much.
Not so fast. Because, tell everybody what's going on here.
Okay, what we have
I'll
here
just
is
step back a foot because that looks really nasty.
what we have is a couple of examples of what we've seen in our shop as far as old oil in the car. This is an example of what a clean engine oil should look like. Consistency of honey, or the color of honey, I should say, and consistency of...
Extra virgin olive oil.
There you go.
All right.
And should flow very well. Unfortunately, people that don't do their oil changes as readily end up with something more similar to this.
Watch carefully. Dan playing the role of Bill Nye the Science Guy. Oh!
That is what we generally will end up with customers that don't change their oil as often as they should.
Oh, Dan, that's evil.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got some really gunky, unfiltered or refiltered oil. What happens inside the engine if you don't change the oil in the filter?
Well, this valve cover is a good example of what happens if you don't change your oil in the car. It tends to solidify, and if it solidifies, it doesn't flow through and it doesn't lubricate the engine as well as it should.
All right.
The whole point of engine oil is to lubricate the engine to make sure that things move as friction-free as possible. Unfortunately, when it gets to this level, things are not moving as easily through the engine.
What the heck do you do with that?
Yeah, not a whole lot you can do with that. Unfortunately, this valve cover needed to be replaced because there is no cleaning that. This was off of a car that we ended up having to replace the engine on because of the fact that the car wasn't receiving the proper maintenance that it should have.
Okay, and here we've got a filter.
This is an example of a cutaway from a Toyota oil filter. This filter has an anti-drain back valve that's part of the design of the car. So depending on where it's located on the vehicle, it will not allow oil to pass or to drain out of it. It keeps oil in the filter, which when you, on a startup, when you first go to start the car first thing in the morning, you've got instant oil pressure,
sure.
the oil filter is full, and it produces oil to help lubricate the internal combustion, or the internally lubricated parts of the engine.
It gets the slippery stuff to the right parts fastest.
Faster than a non-OEM or a non-manufacturer.
Which is another reason why it makes sense to bring your car to a franchise new car dealer to get it serviced. We
have the good OEM parts. These parts are manufactured by your car the car manufacturer to the specific engineered specifically for your car.
Exactly for your car. So, it's like you can buy a hunk of beef, but it can be a hunk of beef, or it can be the right hunk of beef.
Prime is prime.
Prime is prime. Thank you very much. And the factory. I mean, you want that in your engine? You want that? No, you don't. Okay, so we've got basic maintenance taken care of. One of the things that I get a lot of questions on off the radio show and off of the Ask Paul section on DriveChicago.com is tires. Mm-hmm. So why don't we move on and let's take a look at tires and see what we can do there.